white faces don't go putting them down. Rednecks with white faces, they ain't no rodeo clowns.
Hello there, everybody who has stumbled onto YouTube and found your way on over to Ring Respect Retro. I am the host of the show. I am the boss, Bobby Munson, and I am joined by my esteemed colleague. He's the man with the angelic voice. You know him as Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, how's it going this week?
Hey, how you doing, Munson, and how you wrestling fans doing out there?
This week, Ring Respect Retro, we are going to take a look at a match from the mid-'80s. I'm going to let Papa Smokes get into that in a little bit here, but first, before we do that, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Turn on notifications so you know anytime we release new material here on Ring Respect Retro and Ring Respect Radio. Also, while you're at it, go and check out a great sponsor of the show, Powerslam.tv. If you want to get a free month subscription of Powerslam.tv for yourself, head on over to their website and put in the coupon code MUNSONED. That's MUNSONED, MUNSONED, for your 1 month subscription to Powerslam TV. Bob Smokes, why don't you let the fans know what they can expect from this week's episode of Ring Respect Retro?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We always like the old school over here at Ring Respect Retro. We're taking a look back at some of the famous matches, some not so famous matches from the past, giving it a new look with today's eyeballs. And we've been watching Dark Side of the Ring documentaries, so we decided to keep the discussion going about a few of the wrestlers appearing in those. So what we have today is a Randy Savage match, a pre-WWE Randy Savage match, and it is versus Rick Rude from Memphis, Tennessee, mid-'80s. So this is going to be a good one. Let's watch this match.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Let's head on down to ringside. There he is, the Macho Man. Probably one of the most charismatic men in the history of the sport. Probably no hesitation out of him looking to get things started right off the hop here.
It would have been definitely on the strength of some of his work in Memphis here that he would have got a look from Vince McMahon and his cohorts up in New York. You can see his trunks are different, but that's the Macho Man that came up to New York to work for the Dub not too long after this.
And Rick Rude, I know we were talking before us going on to the air here with Ring Respect Retro. Rick Rude, always one of the most interesting characters inside the ring. Always loved hearing him on the microphone when he cut down the fans. I mean, just a perfect class act heel, if I ever saw one.
Absolutely, just one of the perfect heels. The arrogant alpha male type character. This we got Macho Man chasing the manager out of the arena. Now he's back. These Memphis shows would have been on a weekly basis also, and they just tore the house down with Lawler and Dundee and the rest of the guys. They were doing gates of 20,000, 30,000 for some of their weekly shows, some of the bigger ones as sellouts and stuff like that. And they were just doing tremendous business. That would have been with Jerry Jarrett as the promoter at the time.
So, speaking about heels and faces, going on that subject, Macho Man Randy Savage had very good ability to go between being a babyface and a heel. I mean, he got himself over quite well as a babyface, but I mean, very well known also for his heel tactics inside the squared circle that played really well for him over the years too.
Yeah, they often say if you can play one well, you can play the other one well at the same time. So Macho Man definitely an example of that.
Rick Rude, on the other hand, it's not that I don't think he could have played it well. I just don't know if I ever would have wanted Rick Rude to go the other direction. I just loved him so much as a heel. I think he was able to just get that heel pop that you wanted out of a crowd, and that's what made watching his matches exciting. On top of the amazing wrestling that he would perform as well too.
Yeah, you got that right. I'm unaware of any period when Rick Rude was a face character. I'm not sure that he ever was. And just wondering about the manager out there too. That's obviously Jimmy Hart in his younger days and with a different outfit that we're used to seeing, but it was a different time too.
And here's an interesting tidbit. Many people might not know. They might be familiar with Jimmy Hart, but maybe not so familiar with Jimmy Hart, the musician. Jimmy Hart, well-known musician in the music world, and has produced a lot of music over the years and stuff too. Something that I learned actually working at a record store back when I was a younger guy.
Yeah, his band was the first band to knock the Beatles out of the #1 spot in some years or something like that. I can't remember what the little statistic is. Yeah, they had a #1 hit, his band.
Seeing this one spill into the outside. Savage just absolutely full of energy and full of life. You never have a dull moment in a Randy Savage matchup. Using those tactics to get under the skin of Rick Rude, and it is working quite well for him.
He looked so comfortable in this arena too, the way he chased Jimmy Hart all the way to the back through the crowd. Now he's leaping all over the press table and such. I got to agree with you there. Macho's looking like $1 million in this match.
And so far in this encounter, it's been a lot of just psychology. We've seen very few holds, very few moves performed by these two men. It's been all a build-up to what's yet still to come.
Yeah, that's definitely part of Rude's style, is to start slow like that.
Missing with the punch there, and Savage just backing Rick Rude up one more time. There's the distraction, Jimmy Hart. That's where having the manager pays off once again. Now Rick Rude taking control of this one.
You know, thinking about these buildings too, I'm interested in the arenas that old wrestling shows are thrown into. This one in Memphis here, what used to be in the 50s and 60s, it was segregated, where the white people sat ringside and such, and then African American people had to sit upstairs by civic bylaw. And I know that Sputnik Monroe and Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and a couple of those guys flagrantly disobeyed that civic bylaw and said anyone that buys a ticket can sit wherever they want. And I know that was considered to be a big thing. They paid that fine a couple of times, not caring. They wanted their customers to get equal treatment at the wrestling show. It's kind of an interesting little tidbit.
It's good to think that even back then, wrestling was trying to push those boundaries and not listen to the man, I guess, so to speak, doing as they feel that is right for them. And what's right for us as wrestling fans is this encounter right now. Rick Rude firmly in control of this one.
Yeah, like Rude's so excellent with his character and his look, but then you watch him wrestle, he's got that slow and deliberate style. His moves are all done perfectly. They look like they're destroying the opponent, and he just looks like so excellent in every match.
Just that arrogance as he struts around the ring after everyone. A little rub to the head of the referee too while he's at it.
Yeah.
Nice back body drop there from Randy Savage. And the fans are absolutely getting electrified now that Randy Savage is taking back control of this matchup.
Oh yeah, this would be an old school wrestling crowd. This is just a treat to watch.
like there's somebody's grandmother getting up in the crowd there, getting right into this one.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an old school wrestling crowd if there wasn't an angry grandma in there somewhere.
If you ever watch Behind Wrestling's Biggest Secrets, the documentary from back in the day, she might be a stunt granny there, Papa Smokes.
Yeah.
Savage going to the top. Is he going to jump to the outside? Jeez, what a drop down, and that's straight down to the cement there, too.
He kept that move in his repertoire when he left this area.
And now the chairs are going to get involved. Jimmy Hart, there we go, getting right in there, making sure that Rick Rude does not take the hit on that one.
Jimmy Hart should get a raise as a manager, I think, after this match.
After, we've been watching a lot of these old matches, and again, I have to reiterate the fact that I really miss the days of managers in professional wrestling. I think they held a lot of value and added another element to the matchup that I think in some ways we're missing. What do we got here?
That's King Kong Bundy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. The brass nuts right to the face.
Well, you can get that ref in there. Oh, there he is.
And he's just going to count it from the outside. Rick Rude picking up the win there, assisted by King Kong Bundy. But what an ending to that one, Papa Smokes.
Gotta like that.
That was entertaining in every sense of the word. Really enjoyed that one. And I mean, not even a really long match by any means, but the entertainment value was there from start to finish.
For sure, it had action.
And that's going to be all we got for Randy Savage versus Rick Rude. Great matchup. Great to see, two individuals that, I spent a good portion of my childhood watching, especially in their WWF days. So great to go back and see some of the stuff they did prior to the signing with Vince in the WWE there. So thank you very much for recommending that one again, Papa Smokes. I enjoyed it and hope everybody out there did as well, too. That is going to be it for me, the boss Bobby Munson. And I'm going to let Papa Smokes take you guys out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for enjoying Savage versus Rude. We'll be back soon with more Ring Respect Retro. Keep your eyes on the dial.